I got to see the current school board interact with parents, try to be sympathetic. To me, they were hiding behind their masks. I feel they have a good heart, but they're letting money drive them. They're not being completely honest with the parents. And I want to bring honesty, truthfulness, back to the schools, back to the school boards.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody, welcome to Our Watch. I am Tim Thompson, and we've got a very special guest in the studio today. Jill Leonard is running for school board in Lake Elsinore, and we're happy to talk to her about why she is running. So, Jill, glad to have you here.
Hi, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's neat watching you run. We've talked a lot. We've seen each other at school board meetings.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people that are very concerned about what's happening in the government-ran schools.
Yes.
And you're running. You want to run for school board. You want to see change. Before we get into the change that you want to see and why you're running, just tell our audience a little bit about who you are as a person.
Well, my name is Jill Leonard. I have lived in Lake Elsinore for 37 years. So I've lived there since the time there was just a one-stop sign. It's called Four Corners. Nobody in Lake Elsinore knows that. My kids went to school in Lake Elsinore Unified School District. They went to the schools there when they were award-winning schools. They were schools of excellence. I felt very confident having my kids go to those schools, and they're all successful because of it. I believe that. We had good teachers. We had good school counselors. We had a really good school board at that time, and that did right by all the kids. And even their friends are successful. And I'm very proud of that, because when I first moved to Lake Elsinore, I was like, oh my gosh, we can't stay here. And here I am.
Yeah. So 37 years.
37 years,
yeah.
Yes.
So raising kids, raised kids.
Raised kids.
Yeah.
I did the commuting for 20 years.
Yeah.
Commuted to Anaheim. I coached ice skating for 20 years, worked with kids of all ages. So I know what it's like to work with children who, want to succeed also. And just from the little things to the big things.
Yeah. You're a woman of faith?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
I would not be here without God. Yeah. I would be on vacation. My husband is retired. I'm semi-retired. I work just to give me myself something to do. Mm-hmm. I believe I've been called by God to do this. I cannot do it without Him. Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So called by God. So let's talk about why you're running. Like I said, we've seen each other at school board meetings.
Yes.
We see that there's an issue and that there's a need for change.
Yes.
So you feel called by God, you said, to run. What are the reasons? What's driving you right now to run for school board?
I want to bring truth back to the school boards. I got to see the current school board interact with parents, try to be sympathetic. To me, they were hiding behind their masks. I feel they have a good heart, but they're letting money drive them. They're not being completely honest with the parents. And I want to bring honesty, truthfulness, back to the schools, back to the school boards.
Yeah.
I feel like the 3-day agenda is not enough time for parents to figure out what's going to be on the agenda, adjust their schedule so they can show up. I would like to be more forthright with the parents and let them know way ahead of time what's coming down the pipeline to the schools. That's what I want to do for the parents. I want to give the rights back to the parents. They're in charge of their kids, not the schools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's been a huge thing. I mean, for me, I talk to a lot of parents. The issue of parental rights is huge. I look at what happened in Virginia with Governor Youngkin there, and that race, that was a huge governor's race, and it showed us that as we come into November here in this year, that the issue of parental rights is going to be an issue that wins elections. Mm-hmm. I think people on both sides of the aisle know this, and this is why you see such a huge push against people like yourself who are running for parental rights, because they know that's the issue that's going to win, especially when it comes to school board races. Yes. But we saw even with a governor's race, it is an issue that people are very concerned with. Huge. And we saw what happened in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. We saw a big eye-opening experience for many parents where they realized that the state was trying to usurp their authority as parents. So you're coming in as a pro-parental rights candidate. And, we don't want to talk about your opponent, but we want to talk about you. How are you going to bring back parental rights? Like what is, you want to lead in that. So what are going to be some of the things you do? How are people going to see from you that you're all about parental rights?
Well, they're going to see my whole face because I'm not going to wear a mask. And that to me is honesty. I won't have anything to hide. I'm not good at lying like I did when I was a kid. I don't, you just can't do that. And we need honesty back. That's, I don't know how else to bring parents' rights back more than telling them the truth. And to me, that's everything. We can't say, oh, we're teaching them 2 + 2 was 4, but really we're teaching them 5 on the side and we're not letting them, we're not going to let the parents know.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Well, you look at the laws in the state of California. Many of the laws have been written in a way that not only allows for, but actually prescribes for the teachers and administrators to do things without the parents' knowledge.
Yes.
To hide these things from parents.
Yeah, it's
appalling. And one of the things that I've watched over the last many years, but even over the last few years, where we've seen each other at school boards, is the school board members are representing the state to the parents instead of representing the parents to the state. And I know that's something that matters greatly to you is that you don't want them to continually say, this is what the state says, but you want to say, hey, tell me what you think so I can go to the state and tell the state what you say.
Right. And that's what I want to bring back. Actually, my little goal is would be to separate. If we can get the school board just to work with our schools without having the state impress upon us their rules and just have our own to do what's best for our community, I think that would be the best thing to do. Because we actually have a special community in Lake Elsinore. When they sent that molester to Lake Elsinore Hotel, you wouldn't believe the mama bears that came out in the community. They stuck together. Yeah. We stick together when there's something important, when there's important issues. Yeah. And that's what I want to bring back to Lake Elsinore. Yeah. Just, we don't need a state telling us what to do. Right. Giving it back to the parents.
Right. It's funny because you go up to the state, you go up to Sacramento, you talk to the California Board of Education, they will consistently tell you the same. If you go there with problems, and I've done this as a parent, as a concerned citizen, go there with problems, and what do? They say, go back to your school board because you have a thing called local control.
Yes.
And then you go back to the school board and they go, oh, well, the state keeps telling us this. So what we need is a school board that says, you know what, we do have local control. We do know what's good.
Yes.
The mama bears in our town know what's right for their own kids.
And they do.
And we're going to listen to them, and we're going to do what they want.
Yes.
So that's super, super important. We look at the ethnic studies, which is now law in the state of California. As I've looked at the potential curriculums that are going to come down from Sacramento, these are curriculums that are going to point our teachers towards teaching things that are basically critical race theory. And I know that's a CRT. Oh, that's a hot topic right now. But the fact is, you and I both grew up in an environment that told us that we're supposed to judge people based on the content of their character.
Correct.
Rather than the color of their skin. But what these ethnic studies are going to do is put people into categories of oppressed and oppressor, and that'll be based on color of skin. So what do you say as you look at these things coming down the pipeline from Sacramento?
I want to get back to that. Your character should judge how you are, not the color of your skin. I remember, you won't, you were in God's thoughts, watching Martin Luther King march across the nation, bringing this to the forefront in America. And what he did was so honest. He was saying we are all equal, created under God, our creator. Our creator does not look at the color of our skin. He looks at our heart. And God says that from the beginning of the Bible to the end of the Bible. And that's what we need to bring back to the schools. Stop making people feel guilty for the color of their skin. God created us. That's not a mistake. Right. God does not make mistakes. And for people to impress that on other people, shame on them. Yeah. And little kids are just too innocent. They're just trying to get through the day. They're trying to get good grades. I remember being a little kid and, doing my best to get through that math test we only had three minutes to do and complete. That's what they need to concentrate on. Not oh, you're that skin color, you're that skin color.
Right.
You know, and it's hard even in the grocery store when you say hi to somebody as an adult. It's like, well, do they want me to talk to them? I know I look white, but I may not be white. You know, it's just my husband's half Mexican and he looks white.
Yeah.
But he's going to be judged as a white person. That's not right. Judge by the character and the heart.
Right. There's a lot of issues right now. As we look at the people running, I know various people that are running for school board. There's each person I know even has like kind of their own thing that's really driving them. But we look at what the driving issue is for the parents. You're knocking on doors. You're saying hello to people. You're asking them what's going on. As you knock on the doors with the various issues that are out there, what would you say is the top issue that the parents in Lake Elsinore care about? Is your door to door?
Okay, I've been to many doors, knocking on doors these last few weeks. First question, how do you feel about CRT? That's their first question
for you.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
That's like their only question. That's their concern. And it surprised me at first because I thought it would be, what about math, history, science? I've learned that they've taken science out of real science out. But no, it's the CRT and what these kids are going to be taught.
Yeah.
And I'm totally against it.
Yeah.
And even if they hide it in math questions, history questions, English sentences, grammar, no, that's not right. That's not how America does things.
Right.
America is still a free country. We need to bring that true freedom back.
Yeah.
And it starts in the schools.
Yeah. You're busy at work. You're knocking on the doors. I'm going to assume there's, especially because of the hot topic that you're saying the parents care about, you're the one that they want to vote for.
Yes.
They need to tell other people about you. How can people get involved in your campaign? Financially, you need help. You need people to help contribute to your campaign. Running a campaign costs money. How can people donate to you? And then also, how can people get involved? How can they set out signs for you, knock on doors, make phone calls, how can they get involved?
Yes, they can go to my website at leonard4leusd.com. They can look for me on Facebook. Look for me. It's Jill Leonard for LEUSD. My Instagram is Jill for LEUSD, the number 4. I believe my email is on my website, or just contact me that way.
Okay.
God has been so gracious in donations. I remember that trucker every time that he was voted into the Senate on $2,500, and I'm getting just enough to get the signs out. So I have signs. People want them. Please contact me. I will get them in their yard. I do need money for larger signs, but going door to door, because since I did enter this race late, I need a lot of people. I have a lot of homes to cover.
Yeah. Are you also open to, if somebody has a business and they want to open the business, to do like a meet and greet, maybe even open their home, bring the neighbors in, get to know you? Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be a lot of people. Five people in the neighborhood. 5 people talk to 5 people. Those 5 people talk to 5 other people. That's how it's done. So it doesn't have to be on a grand scale. It can just be a few people. At a restaurant, maybe, a couple hour window. Yeah. Well, not so much coffee shop though. I don't like coffee.
All right, no coffee for you. But I'm excited for you. I know that God's going to give you great success in November. You've been working hard, and we're behind you. We really pray for you, and anything we can do to help you out, you let us know. But Jill Leonard, running for office in Lake Elsinore. Thank you for joining us today. We'll put all your contact information in the notes to this podcast so people can connect with you. And we wish you all the best.
Yay! Thank you very much. Vote for me.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time on Our Watch with Tim Thompson.